Hi everyone, let's go ahead and do another unedited video today. Just want to try and get another video in, and I'm going to turn my phone on vibrate right now, and I'm going to be using this Hero Arts set. I love it, and you might want to go to my blog. I might have a little surprise giveaway. So my friend Jennifer, she in their great online watercoloring class talked about putting taping down your watercolor paper on a cutting board, which works great. So I'm going to do that today. I have some painters taped down and Tim Holtz watercolor paper. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I want this to be somewhat quick. So I've never used Frisket before, and what you do is you shake it really good, brush it on, clean your brush, then erase it off, and then you can do your background. So you're going to experience this with me, first time. So I want to go ahead and watercolor my first cactus, and I'm going to use this because I want it to be tall first. So Simon Says stamps work great with watercolors. So I'm going to stamp this pot, and the other ones we will color, and we can watercolor on top of this too. So I guess I'm going to do it like there. Now that, you know, who cares how that looks? I don't. Actually, it looks a little more rugged, like a real planter, but we'll add some watercoloring on top of that. So I really want one of these cactus to be really tall, and actually, well, it's a long story, so. Now, a lot of people are doing the online coloring, and maybe I'll do that, but I do like a good black line, so. What we're going to do here is we're going to stamp this twice, because a lot of these saguaro cactus are really tall, and they're hundreds of years old, so let's hope that it works. If not, I can always sketch some lines in. So I'm going to take the Simon Says stamp black ink, ink this up really good. I'm going to move this out of the camera so I don't have to stick my head in there and edit that out. And just hold it down for a second so that the ink can be absorbed by the paper. And there you go. Now we're going to do another one on top. So ink that baby up again. And when my videos are live, the sound effects are pretty dramatic, aren't they? Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the camera again so I can see. And you know what? I think I'm going to daub a little bit of that bottom line off so it's not a strong black line on the bottom. And then it can always be corrected or fudged with watercolors or whatever. So I'm going to move it out so I can see. Okay, so it's down, and I'm pressing to let the paper absorb the ink. And there we go. So you can see there where I daubed that line off, which was good because we don't want a straight line there. Excuse me. And that can easily be connected by a fine tip marker. So I like the way that goes because I'm going to use a couple different sizes. Like this will go in front, and this one will go here. See, I wanted the different sizes like that. So I'm going to get my watercolors ready, and I'll be back. Okie doke, okay, I'm back, and we're going to watercolor this. So I've got my water close at hand. I have my, I forgot what these are called. Anyways, I'll link to them in the description. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm going to get some of the water off this brush, and then, well, I guess I didn't need to, but you don't want too much. It's just finding the right amount. I'm adding water to the cactus, tomato, whatever you prefer. But I like to wet the paper first because the colors spread better. Now I could also Google cactus images, whatever, and see what I want, what colors I want to use, but I'm not going to do that. And I'm just putting down some color now. I'll blend this out. And I'm sure you're watching me grab some water here, so I'm just going to talk and play. So I think I want to add some blue. That might be too dark, but we're just going with it. I forgot what I was going to say. It's kind of hard to concentrate when you're talking and doing this live. But sometimes I'll Google something if I care about what it's going to look like. If I want authentic colors. So I'm just picking up a bunch of different colors here and just kind of spattering the colors around. Now it's good to have like this is a clean Kleenex or something in case you need to dab some color off, or if the water runs on this metal part here. So I'm just moving this around, then I'm going to let it dry, and then once it's dry, then the frisket can be brushed on. I had to read those directions. And the great thing about watercolor, it's very forgiving. So if you feel like you have too much color or there isn't, it's all one color, just take your Kleenex paper towel, anything, and just dab some off. And then you can put some more on. If you do that in the middle, then you kind of have a light spot, and that looks so cool. Does that look neat? So now, let's add some yellow. I know cactus, they don't have yellow, but ours is going to. I just think it makes it more interesting to throw in some different color. And since that area we just removed some color, it won't get all muddy. So I'm going to add some water to this and let this drip around. And you can see it's probably too much yellow. So what do? We can erase that. We can take this again and remove some of that, just like one quick dab, just like that. So I'm going to add a little bit more green here. It's kind of becoming, but it's just fun to play around. This is actually this army green we haven't used. And these watercolors are really thick, so it's good to kind of water them down. And I usually like it darker at the bottom, so I think I'm just going to stop once I'm done with this. And I might use the heat gun to dry this because I want to put that frisket on. I have to leave soon, and that'll be ready for me to erase when I get back. So I'm going to add a little bit more here. A little too much blue. I think the blue is just interesting. Okay, I think I like that. That should look cool. So let's add a little bit of, what do you think? How about this blue? This blue, I'm sure you can order singles. Let's see how this looks. You know what I think might look good is a little reddish brown. Let's add some of this color too. But notice I'm not thinking too much about what color I'm adding. I know that it can kind of be removed. Now see, I didn't wet this first, so it's not moving around so much. So, you know, just plain. Now this is going to get good and wet, and then I'll add a little bit more brown. If I used a palette, I could blend this out before I add too much. So I'm going to take my craft mat and water that brown down a little bit. And let's see how this spreads. Okay. That might look interesting when it's dry, we'll have to see. But we can always add and take away. So I'm going to add just a little bit of this on this side. Pick up some of that on my mat. And I think I'm just going to let it dry like that. So actually, I said I'd use my heat gun, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn this off for a minute, dry with my heat gun, then we'll put some of that frisket on. Okie doke. I think I'm going to add some more color to this later, and this is like 98% dry. So now I can brush this frisket on, misket. I don't know why I say frisket. Apparently rubber cement works too. So you just have to shake it up really good. I guess I wanted to feel like an artist, so I ordered this instead of rubber cement. Rubber cement is pretty stinky. This isn't as stinky. So I have some here in the lid, so I'm gonna, well, it's not as, this is more liquidy. That's, I guess it's supposed to be liquidy. So it's kind of nice that it's this color because then you can see it go on. So I'm wiping that off my brush and I'm going to apply it here. This is kind of exciting. You don't know how long I've been wanting to do this since online card classes had their watercoloring class, which actually you can sign up for today. You have lifetime access to the class, and even though the class isn't going on right now, you can still sign up. So many great tips. So I'm going to be doing the flower pot here as well. I think it's okay to, it's better to stay in the lines than go out of the lines. Well, of course, right? But what I mean to say is sometimes there's a little margin, so if it's better to never mind. I don't feel like explaining it. Whatever. Okay, I need to go. I have an appointment and I'm going to let this dry and then I'll come back and we'll erase it and stamp so we can all see together how it works. So the important thing, I'm putting this in water right now and I'm going to go wash it out. Alrighty. See you soon. Okie doke, I'm back. The frisket is on here. It is dry. It kind of has a tacky feel. And just a reminder, the video is kind of an unedited version, just a rough video, no voiceover. So I'm going to, I went ahead and stamped these. When the frisket is removed, this cactus should be behind, and this pot should be behind this. So let's go ahead and paint this. So I'm putting down that base layer of water first before I apply the color. I think I'm going to add some gold on this, just kind of as like a background. and then I'll bring some green in. I'm going to go with a little bit more army green this time. I just want it to look different than this one. So, and I'm going to put a little contrasting color on the other side, and we'll just go with it and see where this goes. So, how about this blue? I have some blue green I just picked up. That's kind of blue. I like that color though. Okay, now I'm going to clean that off my brush and just bounce around these colors and see what happens. Now remember, if it gets too muddy or too much of one color, I can remove color by dabbing off with a cloth. Now I've gone out of the lines there, but that shouldn't matter. So I'm going to dry this. This is kind of a wet wipe, and just kind of move some of this around a little bit. Maybe mix them around. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just enjoy it. So that's what it's all about. And that should look good. And while I've got the paints going here, I'm going to take some of this gold again. And oh, the Friscuit's on there. Doy. So just dab that off so nothing happens to that. I'm later going to add a little more color to that though. Now let's see if we can fix this little, if we water this down, we can remove that blotch. Let me get this Kleenex. So keep that in mind. That removed that, and also remove the color, but that's okay. So I'm going to remove that on the outside there too. I'm getting over a cold. Excuse me. Alright, so I'm going to play around with this, add a little bit of color, and then I'm going to come back and we'll erase the Frisket and see how cool that looks, and then that'll be it. The intention is just for a short, quick video. Thank you so much for doing the challenge, taking it with me. It's been really a fun journey, and we're only halfway there, so you all are hanging in there. That's really exciting. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, I just wanted to share. I've watercolored these, and I've put Frisket on. Frisket is on everything, and I just stamped this sweet little mouse from Hero Arts. Such a fun little set, and I just thought if he was peeking out behind that. So I'm going to watercolor him and work on the background, and then I'll erase the Frisket with you so we can all experience that for the first time. Be right back. Okie doke. So I have painted the mouse, and see this line here? I think I was very sloppy when I put the Frisket on. Haste makes waste. It really is true. So I went ahead and I colored another one in case this can't be fixed. So we'll just see. Actually, and it would be kind of cute to pop his head out from behind there. But since I want to do the background, I have to put Frisket on him. So one more step. Okay, so this part is a voiceover, and I just wanted to show you how I'm doing this quick random watercolored circles for my background. It's just an experiment. I just thought I'd try it. That's what the idea of the 30-day colored challenge is, just stretching yourself a little bit. So I'm just throwing these circles all the way around, having some of them more with water, and then I dab all of that off, and now I'm adding a few more. So I'm just playing around, and when this is completely finished, I'm going to throw some water on the whole thing and dry it off, and somehow that didn't get filmed. So you can see the end result, and now I'm just taking the eraser and erased the mist get off. Makes a little bit of mess, but it's really a great thing, and it's a lot easier than masking paper. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow on my blog. Don't forget, there's a giveaway on my blog.